Hi, welcome to The Musical Drummer, the channel where we help you sound like you and nobody else, where we help you change from being a drummer who plays music to a musician whose instrument is the drums. This episode, we're going to be talking about it's more a nuts and bolts kind of part. Some of the one I just did most recently was about much more intellectual kind of ideas. This is more nuts and bolts, practical advice for how to sound like you and nobody else. And it's going to be mostly about just understanding where your head is at, man. So if this sounds interesting to you, I hope you'll join me. I also hope you will like and subscribe and hit the notification bell and all that good stuff, because that really helps a lot. So if you're ready, let's go. My name is Mark. I'm so glad you're here. Come on in. All right, so as I said, this episode is going to be really pretty practical, nuts and bolts kind of stuff, to the extent that's possible with this kind of idea that we're talking about. And it's sort of how to become you, how to become you and not somebody else. How do you bring that to your drumming? What do you do while you're playing? And this, for me, boils down to just one very simple concept. Simple, but not that easy to execute. And that is this. You ask yourself the question constantly, where is my head at? And, ignore the grammar. The reason it's not, that's a simple idea. The reason it's not so easy to do is because there are so many places your head can be when you're playing. And for example, is your attention, your focus, your attention, is it on your technique? How am I holding the sticks? How am I hitting the drum head? That's one place it can be. It could also be, is my attention on that young woman with the tight sweater over there? Is my attention on the drummer that I think might be in the audience who's watching me and judging what I'm doing? Is my attention on the song structure? And there's a stop coming up. I have to remember where that's happening so I can hit it. Is your attention on how you look? Are you thinking about twirling your sticks or doing some big grand sweeping gesture as you play the drums? Is your attention on thinking about, what would, pick your favorite drummer. For me, what would John Bonham play in this fill coming up? Is your attention on the fill? There's a fill coming up. I think about what I want to play there. Could be this, could be that. You see what I mean? Your head can be in a lot of different places. And it's not just like all in one place or another. I can be thinking about where the stop's coming up and that young woman in the front row. But as you'll notice, and I'm just giving you a few things, I know if I'm not paying attention to my mind when I'm playing, I often, I wish I could say I always do this 100% perfectly. I don't. I really don't. And there are times where I'll realize I just let my mind drift while I'm going through the song I played a million times and don't have to think about. And, where was my mind? It was thinking about something that happened 20 years ago, something somebody said to me, or it's thinking about, what I'm going to do when I get home, or what I have to do tomorrow. My mind is everywhere and anywhere except in the music. And this happens to all of us. We all do this. If you get past the point where, if you get a few years into playing, and the physical challenge of getting your hands and feet to do what you want, once you're kind of past that, in a basic sense, all of drumming, from that point on, is in your head, not. And again, at the first of these videos, I said, we don't play drums with our hands and our feet. We play drums with our ears and our heart. There is no music in your head. That's not where music is. Music is in your heart. Music is in the feelings that you have. But our mind is there. And it's going to, just because there's no music in there, doesn't mean it shuts off by itself. You have to step out of it. You have to let go of your conscious, calculating, practical mind and get into that place where your mind is disengaged. If I'm playing well, if I'm in the right place and music is really flowing for me, that's happening because my mind is not engaged in playing. Obviously there's some little, I've got muscle memory and stuff. Some animal part of my brain is still making my hands and feet go where my heart tells them to go. But it's the heart telling them where to go, not my head. And so this is, again, this is going to be a short one and very simple idea, but I think you'll find that if you apply it, if you apply this technique that we're talking about, that your drumming will change and possibly change pretty dramatically. One really simple way to do this is to close your eyes when you're playing. Just that simple act of shutting off the visuals means that all the stimulation and attention-grabbing stuff in the room is gone. And with your eyes closed, if you're playing music, what's the next dominant sense that you have? Your hearing. The music becomes 99% of what you're experiencing as a sense, right? Take your eyes out. I don't mean take them out. I mean, take them out of the equation. Close your eyelids, and all of a sudden, you'll find the music just comes forward in your mind, and you'll find. At least this is what happens for me. If I do that, I find myself suddenly flowing more. I find myself feeling more. I find that the drums come to life. That my drumming comes to life. It's not just doing the job. It is singing. And that's what we want. So, right off the bat, simplest thing you do, close your eyes when you're playing. And I think you'll find, if you kind of, a lot of this is about awareness. It's just about trying to stay aware of where your head is and how that is, and what that has to do with the relationship with the music that you're playing. I think if you close your eyes and you have your awareness open, I think you will find a big difference in how you play. And I think people around you will feel that too. So that's a simple way to do this. But there are times where you need to have your eyes open because you have to see if the bass player is giving a signal that something's happening, or the guitar player is finishing his solo and is giving you a nod to say he's done with his solo. But that place that you're in when you close your eyes and it's just you and the music, and it's you responding to the music with no conscious thought involved in it, that is where you want to be all the time. And as I said, I would love to tell you that I just sit down and every time I play, I'm wholly in the music and nothing else is going through my head. No, it's like meditation, right? For me, for a long time, I couldn't figure out meditation because I thought the goal was to have your mind completely empty. And mine never was. And then I read a really helpful little book that explained that no, that's nobody. The Dalai Lama can't meditate with an empty mind. He's trying to meditate, and that chick with the with the tight sweater is rolling through his head, and And our brains are everything. We can't always turn them off. Thoughts are going to crop up when you're meditating, and they're going to crop up when you're playing. They do for me. So just like with meditation, the way you deal with that when you're meditating is you accept here comes this random thought. You see it, you recognize it, you accept it, you release it, and you bring yourself back to the center. Same thing with the drumming. If you're drumming and this requires constant attention, the mindfulness, if you will. I hate that word, but that's what this is. It's mindfulness that doesn't involve the mind. It's mindfulness in terms of turning the mind off. But if you're constantly aware of where your head is, then you'll be aware when it's somewhere other than the music. And just like with meditation, you recognize you're thinking about something stupid that's not the music, and you recognize it, accept it, release it, and just bring yourself back to the music. And for me, when I'm playing, that's the dance I'm doing all night long, is trying to stay in that center position where I am in the music and the music is me and I'm not thinking about it at all. I try to stay there. I don't always. Other things creep in. Something grabs my attention. But I just accept it, release it, come back to that center position, being in the music. So, like I said, this is just a practical exercise. It's something I find, for me, something that takes a lot of practice, years of practice, and I'm still working on it. I'm still trying to get better and better at this. So it's not something you're going to just, decide to do and tomorrow you're doing it. It's not going to be like that. But I think you'll find if you start trying to do it, that you will, like I said, if you close your eyes when you're playing, I think you will find that your drumming changes when you do that. I think you'll hear it. I think you'll feel it. And if you do, take that encouragement and then try to apply it more consistently when you can't close your eyes or don't want to close your eyes for some reason. What you really want to do is close your mind. Just shut it down. You don't need it. Your arms and hands. Your hands and feet know what to do, right? Like I said, if you're brand new to the drums, this won't be the case. But if you've been playing for 3 or 4 years, you're probably at a point where you don't really have to think about what your hands and feet are doing. They know what to do. They know how to hold the sticks and where the drums are and how to hit them. And you're thinking about it is only going to make them do that job worse. It's like what do they say? Centipede has 100 legs. The only way he can walk is by not thinking about what any given foot is doing. As soon as he thinks about where he's going to put the next foot, they all fall down. Same thing here. You want to just trust your hands and feet, listen to the music, respond with your heart, and your hands and feet will follow, and your drumming will be so much more musical, and you will be so much happier playing it. So, as usual, thank you so much for watching this. Thank you for being here. It just means the world to me. And I hope you will leave a comment. I would love to, I'm serious about this. I really want to know what your experience is when you try this. I want to know if you try it the next time you're playing, which I hope is tomorrow. Try it. Try just play with your eyes closed and see if you hear a difference. And if you do, leave a comment here. Let me know how that's working for you. And if you have questions or just need more examples or guidance of how to do it, leave that down there too, and I'll be happy to try and pursue that with you. And I do try to respond to every comment that's left, so you're not just whistling in the wind. All right, so again, thank you so much for being here. Please do like and subscribe and hit the notification bell and all that good stuff. And I will see you next time. Thanks.